Okay, we're going to do another quick video today to show you how to replace bearings in your idler and tensioner pulleys. And I feel a little guilty about this one. For years, I've just sold people another one. Well, we're at the bottom of the barrel. There is no other ones. Oh, we got a few if you're missing them. And even if I do have one, chances are, if the bearing is okay in it, it's going to be toast in a few thousand miles. So I'm going to show you guys what I should have shown you years ago. And that's a simple procedure to put an inexpensive, common as dirt bearing in there. Most of them are going to take this one. It's on our website. And on our website we have linked this pulley goes to this bearing and so on. Now the expensive one, the specialty one, is this one. But the good news is the pulleys that it goes to, fits with, they're more valuable and more expensive. So they're worth putting the extra money into this specialized bearing. You're not going to find this one at your local auto parts store. Of course, we got it on our website. So we are going to show you how to inexpensively and without being too invasive press in a new bearing here. Okay, before I got wise and talked to Tom at KTL Restorations, I used to think the best way to do this was to drill a little hole in here and put a self-tapping screw in there and screw into it and pop this cap off. It worked okay, but then you had to wire feed weld your hole back up and sand it, and it took longer. Tom at KTL Restorations taught me this one a while back. The goal is to press on here on this outer steel ridge right here and not come anywhere close to this cap, and don't touch the tin. You're going to be tempted to press on this. Don't do it. This is thin tin. Any prying or pressing or anything will put this out around. So let's set it up, and I don't know, you'll find some scrap. This is an old gear out of a 4-speed. Seems to hit the bill. So we'll look at that, fits in there just right. Go ahead and fill my void up there. And yeah, probably not a good idea to use your sockets, but what the heck, they have a lifetime warranty. Do as I tell you, not as I do. Here we go. Hey, did you hear that? Let's take a gander. Just that easy and clean. Look at that. Didn't disturb it in any way. And there's our ugly bearing that is doomed to fail. It's really hard turning. So let's go get our snap ring pliers and knock that ring off. Not all of them have that snap ring. This particular one does. So we'll get that off, and then we're off to step 2. Now that we've got our delicate cap out of the way, we continue pressing this. I'm going to press this pulley this way, just to get it out of the way, and I'll show you why we're doing that next. Well, they don't always go that easy. In fact, you could have done that maneuver without a press. Now, that one came off too easy. Sometimes you really got to give it the effort here. So now what do? We got this flopping around pulley. Now we're on to the next operation. Okay, we got a couple pretty common pullers here. There's a bunch of different ways to pull a bearing off a shaft. This is just the way I've found that works. There we go. God, my fingers are gonna get tired. All right. got it off safely and without too much stress. Sometimes they take a little more effort than that, to be honest with you. But you get the basic idea. There's your ugly little wore out bearing that's on its way to being seized up. Now, a lot of you are ignoring this. It sounds a little noisy, but it spins good. I've seen a lot of chaos. I've seen things go through radiators, hit fans, chunks hit up and hit hoods. This little problem here could be a $2,000 retail problem if you don't watch it. So go out there and turn on your car and listen to see if you got some excess noise coming from this bearing. They're all bad after 40-some years. Just how long do you want to go? Well, you sure can't tell I'm not a real mechanic. I don't think a real mechanic would be using his best socket set for spacers here. I just play a mechanic on TV. Now, don't use a big socket to press on the outside of this. This bearing was never meant to have that kind of pressure. So we want to put the bearing right there on the inside. And almost never do they press on squarely. So they usually give you a little resistance going on, meaning they go on cockeyed. Now watch, this will work perfectly. Yeah, perfect, damn it. Anyway, a lot of times the bearing will cock to this side or this side, so you'll have to reposition it. You know, if it starts to lean this way, you take the pressure off and move the assembly over. I hate it. I hate it when things work perfect when they're not supposed to. Okay, let's set this up. Again, don't ever press on this, and you got to keep this path kind of clear. So what we're doing, I found something that kind of fits. Maybe you got a socket that size. I didn't. Balance it on there. Now again, most times it won't go on square. You'll have to shift this pile. Oh! Didn't have my stick ready. Now you got to be careful not to overdo it, because once you go too far, how are you going to get it back? You have to go through the whole hassle again. So we're going to make sure and not go too far. Check our work. Well, I accidentally landed in the perfect spot. Usually I have to kind of try it a couple times. But now we can put our little cap back in place. All right, there you got it. You can't even tell we were in there. Nothing got touched. Got a nice clean, listen, silent. One thing, don't forget the snap ring, if included. I forgot the snap ring. So guess what? I get to do this over again. I guess I needed the practice. Some of you don't have a press. Send yours in to us, put a little note in the package, say, please put a bearing in this, and you know, we'll get a bearing in there and charge you for the bearing and the labor. Send back your part. Okay, next one. Same basic principles, a little trickier though because of this lip. We're gonna have to really find something that fits well on that lip. So here we go. Okay, we don't always rehearse before we do this, but I think I got lucky and found something that's gonna fit. This is a 1 1/4 Craftsman 12-point socket, and if you see, there's a little tiny bit of a ridge right there. So we're going to go beyond this lip onto that ridge and hope that's enough to catch it and press the bearing inside the socket. It's kind of cool. I have no idea if this is going to work. Yeah! I think that's enough to get the cap off. Here, I think I'm about ready to make a mistake. Did I just do the no-no? Did I just do the sin? I was telling everybody, yeah, see, I just about did it. See, I wasn't supposed to do that. I was about ready to push on the pulley. Okay, same thing applies. I was setting it up wrong here a second ago. You want to press on this, never on this. I was inadvertently starting to go here. I'm glad I caught myself. So I'm going to press this into here. Bottom down on that socket, I'll have to go get a deeper socket. Let's go use a punch and finish it out. You thought your Mercury Cougar was all American, but did you know in 1967 they were using made in Japan bearings in your 67 Cougar? It's about the only place you'll see Oriental markings on your 67 through 70 something Cougar. Anyway, you know, it turns freely, but hear that squeak? Yeah, that could be a big problem on that next Route 66 tour. So I'm not going to bore you with putting it back in. Getting it out cleanly is actually the hardest part. Going back in is a reverse process. Thanks for watching.